It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Tuesday and we've been serving you with so much health conversation, and we're going to carry on with that chat right now and covering the hidden triggers behind seasonal allergies. We're talking about pollen, mold, and more. So what's really causing your discomfort? Well, let's find out now. We've got Dr. Anissa Vaihed in the building. She's here to help us better understand and conquer the environmental challenges that we face. So get ready to breathe easier as Allergies Uncovered starts now.
And I think the best way to start it is, Doctor, we want to know from you, what are some of those common triggers that I know, it's seasonal triggers, it's that time of the year, and how does it affect individuals?
So, as you mentioned, 'tis the season. It's obviously a big thing is the season change, and with season change, it's spring. So spring's bringing through the grass, the pollen, but also what are we doing at the moment? Spring cleaning. So as we're doing the spring cleaning, that's exposing us to a lot of dust, molds, and especially our pets all around us. They're starting to shed all of that dander, and that'll also expose us as a big trigger.
All right,
Getting rid of their fluffy coats.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'm sure that happens quite a bit, I would imagine, with the environment, with a lot of wet weather that comes through in winter, heading into spring, mold might occur, right? And that's something that we're not even aware of in terms of how it spreads, where it is in the household. But how exactly do these sort of, you call them spores, right? How do they impact us, and what sort of effect can they have long-term when it comes to our health?
So essentially, mold is a big fungus. You can find it everywhere, inside, outside.
Not just on the old bread.
Exactly, and it's sitting in wet, warm, humid kind of conditions, and it's very, very hard to kill. Now, what happens is it reproduces with the spores, you inhale it, and that's when we're starting to get the hay fevers, we start to get recurrent upper and lower respiratory tract infections, and it actually can predispose us to asthma.
Sure.
Wow, okay, so these are things that are not actually necessarily our health, but external impacts.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
And something to take serious, because I can imagine left untreated can have horrible side effects down the line.
Exactly.
Now, Doctor, how can we minimize our exposure, if that's even possible, to any of these environmental triggers?
So ways to minimize it is obviously go for your regular checkup so we can actually make sure that we're picking it up. But ways to do it is also regularly wash your linen at home. Also, if you're thinking you're going to have big triggers, wear a mask, use sunglasses when you go outside, but also consider using air purifiers or air conditioners, and make sure you're using clean filters on them.
All right. Now, I had an interesting chat just earlier with a pharmacist, speaking about the value of pharmacists in general and what you can get, like, let's say, over the counter, as example. They're offering so much help. Is that an option with regards to this topic right now, when we're discussing things like allergies and things? Over-the-counter medication, does it have its place here?
Definitely. So especially in discussion with your doctor and your pharmacist, there's a lot of locally, easily accessible medication. So if we think about antihistamines, that'll help us to relieve a lot of our sneezing, our itchy eyes, but also decongestants. And you can get those as oral or nasal options, and that'll help to relieve that immediate congestion.
Very nice.
But the other options are also steroid nasal sprays, so that'll help to relieve inflammation. And something super simple that everyone forgets is the saline washouts. We use it for our babies all the time, and us adults forget about it, but that's easily accessible.
What's a saline washout? What is that exactly?
So salt water washout, you put it up your nose and you clean out.
I've never done that. Whoa, can you do it yourself?
You can do it yourself.
Okay.
You get big saline bottles. You can get all of that congestion out, clean out those the sinuses. Immediate relief.
I might try that, actually.
You have to try it. It's life-changing. Doctor, I'm thinking of those individuals that are prone to allergies, but they love being outdoors. I mean, I can't picture Nature Boy here being allergic and staying indoors. What are the alternatives for you to continue living life? But yes, you've got the allergies. How can we keep those at bay?
So I always advise my families that love being outdoors to rather kind of consider doing the outdoor activities later in the afternoon or straight after the rain when the pollen count is much more less. But also, if we're finding that we're having a high pollen count season, we're really struggling, using a mask, using sunglasses. But also, as soon as you return home, get into that shower, wash off that pollen, change your clothes, and that'll give you quite a big relief.
A good routine.
Good routine.
Crazy how much impact that has. Well, Mzansi, I hope you are inspired by this. I hope you definitely get your spring cleaning on and also look at the options that you have. You don't need to suffer, of course. And with September being Pharmacy Month right here, our pharmacists are pillars of our community. So this is your reminder. Take the opportunity to acknowledge and thank them for the contributions that they make. And on top of this, there's something excited that we need to talk to Mzansi about. So, yes.
Yes, so let's set the scene. You love spring, but your allergy symptoms are spiraling. How do you still live your best life? Well, tell us by replying to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages, and you could stand the chance to win 5,000 Rand in cash this week. And don't forget to include that hashtag ALLERGEXND. The competition will close on Monday, the 18th of September at midnight. The T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
We've been long in the game, healing South Africa one allergy at a time. All the sneezing, runny nose, itching of nose and throat, we've left no stone unturned. Until finally, South Africa recognized us. You've given us the courage to continue to do what we do best. Live, work, play, sleep allergy-free with ALLERGEX Non-Drowsy. Ask your pharmacist for the full allergy range. Brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.